Well, I mean, we survived the execution. Everything I have right now is because of you. Don't thank me just yet. The real battle's still ahead of us. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
So,
They had no choice but to accept.
because
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard. Okay, so what is it?
so
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right?
listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Yeah, I thought it was hard to believe.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off, and yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it. But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult.
So
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost, us killing each other.
it would seem
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah.
in other words. Correct.
Okay, what's the point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept.
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal as the ultimate despair. Okay, it all makes sense. At least it's starting to make sense. It is ridiculous, I know. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. It's such a bad reason.
Makoto.
That same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness.
In other words.
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a killing game, but a one-sided slaughter.
At the very least.
At least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves. That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer.
It's true.
And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in
other
perfect form.
words.
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they violate their own regulations. But all that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge?
However,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. Well, I mean, she hides her emotions, so it makes sense. Presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy.
However,
all we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this
Correct.
time, or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing.
hey,
Wait, they're gonna find out that I'm still alive. Well, how are they gonna feel if they find I'm still alive?
however. Anyway, shall we go?
They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? I mean, they're probably in their own rooms.
Anyway,
I mean, they have to be in their own rooms. I think it's nighttime, right? So they have to be. So let's go ahead and just check that right now. Man. So I'm gonna assume that there's no more killings, or at least no one's gonna die anymore. I mean that's what I like to believe, but I don't know. This is gonna become like a really risky chapter, I believe. Who should I go to first? I guess we'll go to Byakuya first.
hey,
I don't think he's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. What? Wait, I can't. Are none of them in their rooms?
hey,
Wait, they could be in the dining room. Right? That's the only place where, if they're not in their rooms, they have to be somewhere else in this area, which is the dining room. And suddenly we were greeted with a bunch of letters that I'm not gonna try and pronounce because it's a bunch of letters. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. AG cube foursome equals sen AKT something.
however.
I wonder what that was all about.
Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it, that's Makoto!
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
Okay, I just came back to life and you're calling me that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Everyone was there, all my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, I mean, that seriously stinks. Oh yeah, we were in the garbage dump. Oh great, we were greeted and then now we said that we stank.
Yo,
What was it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world. Did you get to talk to her? Who? Miss Cleo? I don't know who Miss Cleo is. I still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me either. Do you realize why it is you? Do you know why it is you escaped execution? It was Alter Ego. He saved my life. Not too many people can say they had their lives saved by a computer program. I imagine it was a learning experience for you. No, I didn't mean to do that. So what have you guys been doing while I was gone? Well, we figured that since the trial was over, we'd have access to new places again. And no dice. All the rooms that were locked before were still locked. Okay, and how about Toko? You stink. Are you rotten? Rotten physically, mentally, every way you can be rotten? Sorry, I was rolling around in garbage for a while. This smells so smelly. Super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. Is that supposed to be a good thing?
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial.
In other words,
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial.
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't kill her.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
See.
What she's saying, it was the work of the mastermind. What? You're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop it.
However-
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
However,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blacken, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blacken is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules, which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial, when you said, now it's the mastermind that's snared. That's what you were referring to. Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later. So knowing all this, what do we do now? It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind. But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah, for us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
But
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone? Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one final decisive battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro and all of the school's mysteries, it's a pretty tall freaking order. Maybe, but this time the trial's different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Why not, though?
indeed.
That's what I thought too at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough bear puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see. So, in other words,
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have to set foot in this school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised this scene like that.
in other words,
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
that's right.
And of those 16 people we start out with, the only one still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it? Or do you get it now? The mastermind's one of us?
no way.
We can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said that, said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only among many. Only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. The ultimate despair, so he must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible, but if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active? Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret, but we're all here right now.
But
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
And maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded all that dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Oh, is it nighttime? Like officially? Like 10 p.m. nighttime?
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
How magnanimous of him to unlock all the
That's
rooms.
fine.
Okay.
In the name of my family.
I can only rely on myself on the Tagami blood flowing through my veins.
Goodbye.
Okay. Without master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee. Thanks!
Indeed.
You know?
You're going to go by yourself?
How about that?
I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. How? How are you gonna do that? You have you're 30% correct, like you told me. Okay.
but
It's not that I don't trust everyone, you know, but up until now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depend on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been there, I would have died.
but okay.
Okay.
Indeed.
So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko? Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
So,
That goes for all of us.
so then,
I have an endless list of things I need to check. Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before. Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of the school. And then we can all escape together. Due to the explosion, there were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been stuck in the head. They also had been struck in the head with an object that about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but those were at least several days old. The headmaster's room, the biolab, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and dojo. Places to check. Okay.